Welcome back, friends. So, anatomy and physiology in that last review was the reproductive system. So, reproductive system, male reproductive system and female reproductive system, as the name mentions, the process of reproduction is for procreation. So, in bracket, not for recreation. So, that has become recreation now. So, yoga takes you to a process where you preserve this energy, raja or the semen content. So, that forms, you study in the other scriptures, that forms the ojas or tejas, whatever humans will derive that. So, all the process of yoga is to create a chitta shuddhi, at the same time control of the senses, mainly the control of sexual energy. When you see the depiction of Shiva sitting onto the uh, skin of a tiger, when you see that it depicts, it means that the one who has won the sexual energy, or one who has sublimated the sexual energy and converted it into a spiritual energy. That's what it means. So there are subtle symbols and messages in all the mythological Puranas, or whatever you study, Mahabharata, Ramayana, Puranas. So each one of them have a psychological impact. Each one of them are psychotherapy techniques. Each one of them are auto-suggestion techniques, where you transform your mundane, normal, animal-based mind towards a human-based mind, and then from the human to a divine mind. So reproductive system contains male and female. Male will be external. It is outlet. Female will be internal. As a male will be giver, female will be receiver. The system is built in that sense. So each system contains a haploid cell, a half number of chromosomes compared to other cells, which is designed in a such a way that this is the only part of your human body where it can produce or it can create a new life. So this is very vital for a yogic perspective or a spiritual perspective of any religion whatsoever. This energy is perspective. This energy perspective is very vital. Sexual energy transformed into spiritual energy. Less talked about it. Not much, so-called enlightened people will talk about this, because there is a taboo of not to talk about this particular topic. So, but as a yoga people, and as a part of anatomy and physiology, there should not be any hindrance for me to teach you all these contents in perspective with yoga. So, welcome, and you study. You are here to ask any questions, and also you study in detail and try to correlate as much as contents with your yogic knowledge, so that you evolve to your knowledge, where this knowledge will become wisdom, and this wisdom will be helpful for you to teach to the world and not to harm anybody. So in that perspective of not harming, we request you to learn more, teach more, and evolve in this process of yoga. You help yourself and help others. Yoga, another interesting topic is, yoga is the only science where the energy system is is subtly described in a particular words or senses where it depicts something. For example, vajrasana. So it depicts there is some nadi, or there is some subtle bioelectrical content of your body, which if it is stimulated right away, it can take you to a higher order of consciousness. So what it means is, you are in your routine stage of life where we are looking around, seeing the world as we are seeing from the five senses. But when your nadis are activated, what you perceive the same world will be different with the perspective of enlightened or heightened sense of awareness. So this is totally different experience. So when the Vajra Nadi is being taught, Vajrasana will stimulate Vajra Nadi. So where is Vajra Nadi situated? So Vajra Nadi is situated near to the anatomical structure of perineal body. If you see, perineal body is a very sensitive part, either in the male or in the female. Both sides, location wise, it is a little different. When you study in detail, you will understand. But each perineal body, in both the male and female, there is a different distinct neuronal plexus. The nerve and the arrangement will be such that it is a very sensitive area. And when you do, when you are sitting in Siddhasana or Sukhasana or Swastikasana, you are touching your heels to the perineum. So it is to remind or it is to stimulate the brain that okay, there is an important vital structure which is in correlation with the body and in a subtle correlation with the magnetic energy or bioelectrical energy, it is a correlating with Mooladhara. So perineal body and Mooladhara, if you are able to correlate and understand anatomy to this extent, so any changes it's happening in your body, if you are feeling the Kundalini elevation or evolution of uncoiling of Kundalini, you will actually feel it in actual sense. Unlike just a knowledge base, you feel you are sitting somewhere for a long time and you feel a crawling sensation, ant crawling sensation at the back of your body. You feel as if it is enlightenment or as if your Kundalini is getting awoken. It's not true. So it is just simply a hemodynamic change, blood circulation change. So actual Kundalini feeling will be much different and much detailed one. So I urge all of you to inculcate this knowledge of anatomy and physiology, embed in your yoga system in such a way that you will not be fooled by anybody, so-called guru or so fake gurus elsewhere, because this is a Kali Yuga where you will get to know so many fake gurus. So use your knowledge in the form of transcend this knowledge in the form of wisdom, where once you are ready, the teacher, a genuine good teacher, will come automatically, rather than you searching for a teacher on your YouTube or other channels. So you could find us, but you might not find a good teacher.